Hi there, and tonight's success for international model Turzan Elliott. Her career is about to go international. We catch up with her. Plus we have a teacher who was there on day one when Hawthorndale School opened. She watches it close. And then we have Star Wars, the cult, the whole image. Does it still mesmerise us here in the south as it has in other centres? We look at Star Wars. And then social welfare. Well, the government spends about $13.7 billion on social welfare. ACT leader Richard Prebble says he wants to end social welfare altogether. The spending on social welfare, it's up $10 billion since the 1970s. For some, Richard Prebble says it's become a lifestyle option instead of a security net. It's also, he says, become one of the major causes of crime because it's not poverty that's causing crime, it's illegitimacy. He's saying on one end it's a disaster for the beneficiaries, on the other end it's a disaster for the taxpayers. What would he do with social welfare? It's a very good evening to the leader of ACT, Richard Prebble. Good evening.
It's a great pleasure to be here in Southland.
Thank you, Richard. Now, when you say that welfare has become a lifestyle option instead of a security net, what do you mean specifically?
What I am saying is that the original purpose behind the social security that the Michael Joseph Savage Labor government introduced was to be a safety net for everyone. You know, anybody can have an economic catastrophe, and I'm in favour of that. What we've now got, though, is a social welfare system that has a lifestyle option. And I've given some examples in the book. I've taken the DPB and gone and had a look. There are 7 families in New Zealand who've been on it since it started in 1973. I can understand someone having an accident, having one child they didn't mean to have, but having a whole string of them.
Let's take up on the issue of a lifestyle option. So they have a choice? These beneficiaries, what's their choice?
Well, I'm saying to you, you can have one child illegitimately, but then having 6, if you can actually, I've worked out for each one of those families, the taxpayer has spent $365,000. I'll give you another example.
Well, can we take up on that option? So you're saying, are you implying that these women deliberately got pregnant and remained so that they could get some extra money?
Of course I am. No, I'm not implying it. I mean, I'm saying, look, I can understand somebody having one child and going on the DPB, but then being on the DP there and having another 6 children,
do you think
there's seven families who've done it. If you look at the DPB, when it was first introduced, the good judge said there'd never be more than 22,000 people on it. It's now over 100,000. If we're looking at the effect...
So, Richard, can I just say, do you think that any woman would prefer to be on her own, bringing up children, rather than have a husband if she could?
That anyone would? No,
yeah, do you think any woman would deliberately want to bring up a family on her own?
The majority of families in New Zealand aren't in that situation, but I say this, if we look at the Maori family, it's been a disaster. 74% of all Maori births last year were illegitimate. When we look at the majority of Maori children are now growing up in single-parent households, we have the highest number in the whole of the OECD. New Zealand has the highest number of children growing up in a single-parent household where the parent does not work.
One of the causes of this that some are suggesting is that they don't actually have the option. If there was an option for work and that the two could be together and could have the option of having a house and having security and having all the things that those people that have work would have, then they'd be doing it. It's lack of jobs that have created this, Richard.
Well, I've heard that argument, but in fact there are countries in Europe where there's a higher level of unemployment than we have, and they don't have the same high number of families held by a single-parent family. No, the reason for it is economic. When you can get $50,000 by being on the DPB, and the average wage for a woman's $30,000, and I'm not making that figure up. When I got up in Parliament and said it is possible for a woman to get $38,000 with just 2 children just working the system, the Minister said...
That's one end of the scale.
Benefit bashing.
That's one end of the scale.
I then said, well, okay, let's find out how much money people can get, and there are people getting $50,000, and indeed I quote in the book, and I think it's fair enough for me to do it because I did it as part of the research, that there's somebody in the country who's getting $88,000 a year on a benefit, and all we know about that person is that they don't work.
Okay, we don't know their circumstances. They could be suffering from a debilitating disease. They could be on a life support system or anything at the moment. So let's stick to that.
All we know about the beneficiaries in this country is that the one qualification for getting social welfare in New Zealand is that you don't work. And what I'm pointing out is that there are countries overseas that have looked at their social welfare system and they've said, let's have a system where the requirement to get welfare is that you're prepared to do at least some work, and I think we should switch to that. We should have a have a social welfare system, whereas if you want to help from your fellow citizens, and as a citizen, I'm prepared to give help. I do want to help, but I'm saying they should do some work for themselves.
So you want a woman bringing up a young baby to also be trying to work, and she's got no husband supporting her, she's trying to do everything. Can you imagine that situation?
I most certainly can. In my own office, right, in Wellington, I have 3 solo mothers, all of whom are raising children and they are working. They're being clobbered by the tax department.
In your office?
In my office.
They're getting good employment. What if they were unemployed? What if they didn't have employment?
Well, if they were unemployment, they wouldn't be in my office, would they?
No.
I mean, what are you
The majority of them are unemployed. They haven't got a high-paid job in your office to go to pay for the childcare.
Well, in fact,
they've got to do it all on their own.
In fact, the pay in my office, I'd like to tell you, actually isn't
It'll be higher paid than someone who's on nothing.
No, it's actually less money than they would have got on the DPB. Those 3 women in my office, under the system that you're defending, they could get more money on the DPB. And I'm saying to you, why are you saying that someone should get paid more money to be on the DPB? Why, in fact, should a woman on her own get more money than if she's married to the boy next door?
Because we've got to protect the future generation. Why should they suffer? Why should their children not be able to be brought up?
How is that protecting the future of New Zealand when you are saying to me, you just said to me, it's better that a woman can kick out her husband and get more money from the taxpayer.
The husband might not want to be there. There's too many presumptions. The final result is someone may not have the qualifications to be in your office. They might not have the qualifications to be in their office to do that job. They haven't got any qualifications. They haven't got any job. They've got to stay at home, and you're going to try and force them to work. What's going to happen to their children? No husband to bring up, no child care.
Can I come in now? Can I make a word? I'm saying to you that if we continue to break up the New Zealand family at the rate that we're going, then we are going to continue to see spiralling crime. We have done surveys, but not just overseas, but also here in New Zealand. And in fact, while there are many solo mothers who do a great job, the best thing to do is to be in a caring, loving situation with both parents. And we've got an economic system that penalises you if you do that, and rewards you if you don't.
Thank you.
And that's why I've written a book about it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Richard Prebble. That discussion could go on. What are your thoughts on it? Here's your chance to win the book. If your fax is good enough, you might get it, or your information. Write to me at 21 The Crescent, Mercury Television. Do you think that it's just too easy being on the DPB? Is there a way of getting people to work and do it as well? 21 The Crescent in Invercargill. You can also fax me on 2186899, and I'm at jerry@mtv.co.nz. And of course, if your answer is kind of not in support of Richard Prebble, then perhaps instead of winning the book, we won't send you the book, and that would be your reward for it. But certainly, the best response can get the autographed signed copy if you want it. Coming up very shortly now, we've got a school on the move. 41 years ago, Hawthorndale School on the corner of Tay and Stewart Streets opened up. Well, yesterday, the school's life came full circle. So what are you doing sitting out here on your chair?
Because we're shifting to a new school.
It's a bit of a sad time today that we all gather for our last assembly on the Hawthorndale site, but in some ways we're all looking positively to walking across the road to our new school called the Ascot Community School.
You taught here in room 1 when the school first opened. What are you feeling?
I just loved it here because I could remember walking past here as a young child when it was a frog pond, and then to have the school, you know, built on site, and to see it grow, and then...
Now that it's going back to what?
Yes, well, I always think it's sad when a school has to you know, give up like that. But however, we look to the future and all the best to Ascot.
Jamie, we're just leaving the school. Anything you want to miss about the old Hawthorndale?
Playing on the tunnels with my friends, but my friends are still going.
How about you, Todd? What are you going to miss?
Oh, all the walls with to put our painting and all our things on the walls.
This is our new cloakroom, isn't it exciting?
It's almost as if Hawthorndale's been forgotten now. We're on the new site. Any sadness about it?
Well, I'm sure there is. I'm sure that a lot of the teachers having to leave the site and a lot of the staff and children who've gone through it in the past. But I think you've got to look at that and put it in its perspective, really. And we appreciate the past, but we've got to move on. And from our point of view, the really good thing is the smiles on the children's faces. And we may have got a new set of buildings, but we're still all together. Parents, teachers, children, we just moved across in Hull and here we are in the new site.
At long last, we are all together on the site. We are truly the Ascot Community School. It is really fantastic. I've really enjoyed the last half hour walking across from Hawthorndale on the great trek.
This is one of the 3 rooms we have for technology. We do cooking and sewing. We just have all the rooms. There's always room for one more. A circle that never ends. All you do is open up the door.
A piece of local history that, the last day for Hawthorndale School. All the juniors moving over to the new Ascot Community School. Great time, great bit of history. Someone, a Southlander, who may be making great history very soon, Tazanne Elliott, and we'll see how her modelling career is shaping up next. To a Southlander who's poised for international success, well, she's been modelling since she was 10 years of age. And then in 1997, she became the first ever Kiwi to be the Guest Australian Elite Model of the Year. And then in 1998, well, she was the New Zealand Face of 1998. Tazanne Elliott, she's poised to go overseas with her career. How's she feeling about it?
Well, actually, I'm really keen on doing it. I mean, it's about time. I've tried so hard just to get out there, and now I'm living in Auckland. I'm like at the centre of it all, ready to go.
And that extra step, you're going with Next, a New York company?
Yeah, hopefully. It depends. We're sort of putting my feelers out and checking to see who's got the best deal for me.
The best deal? What are you weighing up?
Well, well, just who's, you know, going to do the best for me, like who's going to get the most work for me. And
how are you going to judge that? It's a big decision for an 18-year-old to be deciding. How are you going to judge it?
Oh, well, I've got my mother agent in Auckland, so they're a big decision maker. Like if they get the right vibes from the people, then that's...
What are vibes? What are you going to hear? What are sort of things?
Just like a reaction, you know, if they think, oh yeah, we'll have her, she sounds great, you know, we're going to do this and this and this. But, you know, some people might just, oh, okay. But, you know, it's a casual sort of a thing.
Well, let's hope that works out really good for you. Can I wind it back a little bit? How did a Southlander get to be embarking on an international model career? Where did it all start for you?
Well, actually, my mother owns a salon, and she used to have staff photos taken with a local photographer called Owen Ellison. And he was coming up in the fashion industry and just establishing himself, and he spotted me there with the banners holding it up and the photos and that sort of thing. So he offered to do like personal shots just of me. So from there it just
grew, and you had a big breakthrough when you did a big full page ad. Tell us about that.
Like I did a full page ad for Mum for crimping. It was a bit of a trend back then. And I was about 10.
Sticking all sorts of things in your hair?
Little flower power type stuff.
It wouldn't go with my look, but
no,
never mind.
Not quite.
So that went full page, and Owen's reaction?
He just saw the photos afterwards, and he's just like, she's got it. She's got the look. Like that. something, you know.
Now they know that.
They do.
What does it mean? Can you explain that to a lay people?
Well,
What did he say?
I don't know. That just special something that makes someone so amazing in photos. Like something amazing about being photogenic and that. Like
So it wasn't like the pretty kind of classic beauty?
No, it wasn't the girl next door. It wasn't the pretty, you know, girly type thing. It's more edgy and very different, very out there.
Now, is this the sort of look you think you're hearing or feeling that people want up in Auckland?
Definitely
What are they
is.
looking for?
Like mostly it's overseas because we're coming up to the new millennium and it's just like this totally different age of models coming through. I mean, you've probably seen a lot of strange looking,
Bizarre,
yeah, really weird. So,
And are you consciously fitting in with that image? How are you getting with that?
yeah, well, mostly I express myself through my clothes and that, and who I
Well, let's have a look
associate
at
with.
what you've got there. Now, this, if I can just, that's rather plasticky, isn't it?
Yes, it's a raincoat fabric. It's a non-D piece. It's just a straight skirt. Yeah.
And a bit of the see-through pattern on the top, so we've got interesting layers there.
Yeah.
And your shirt is distinctive too.
Yeah. I wear my shirts back to front a lot now, so that's good enough.
That is edgy. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And on the sleeves.
Yeah, they just come off the sleeves. Yep, got quite a few pairs of these actually, different colours in it.
And even the hair, the braid is done differently too.
So, yeah.
So this is the look that you're cultivating through, because you're also into the clothes.
Yeah, like very much so. I've got an extensive wardrobe of very special things, that I would never be throwing away.
So you'll be cultivating consciously this look. So what are you hoping will grab the international market out there?
Well, I mean, basically the way you present yourself is very important. So I think I've got that going for me anyway so far.
Now, looking back to in New Zealand, you had a bit of a breakthrough on it was the old railway line shot.
I'm sure a lot of people know about that. The Starfish campaign, it was like my first campaign, and I was wearing a really short skirt, wearing stilettos across these railroad tracks.
And that one, that just made a big impact.
It did. It was a big impact, yeah. Mostly in Wellington though, because it's where they're based, but it went in pavement and it went everywhere, so that was excellent.
Now, we think glamorous when we think of modelling.
Well, not always, yeah.
A lot of waiting around.
A lot of waiting around, yeah. Often you start yawning from sitting around for ages.
First of all, you get made up, don't you? That can take quite a long time.
Oh yeah, that can take up to hours. I mean, because some people, like with different faces, it's like, some things don't work, so they've got to try again. And
then there's the costuming too. There's a lot of alternative outfits sometimes. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, a lot of different things.
And it's all for that one moment.
One moment.
Split-second flash.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the most bizarre thing you've ended up doing?
Well, standing on top of some huge cement blocks in Wellington Airport, and where the sewage is being pumped out into the ocean, and the water splashing up on my legs while I'm doing this really glamorous shot. So that was interesting.
And that, but in the final product?
It was fine. Yeah, it was excellent. Definitely worth it.
Tuzanne, good luck overseas. How will you know when you've made it? What will the indication be?
Well, hopefully I'll be with some big names doing some really good campaigns, getting Calvin Klein or Versace or something, anything like that would be just fine.
Have we seen your face multimedia? Whereabouts?
Oh, hopefully, yeah. TV, billboards, magazines, who knows, whatever comes.
And do you love the life?
I love it, absolutely, totally, yeah. That's what I want to do.
So it's great to see someone on fire, doing well at what they really want to do. And the next time we catch up with Tuzanne Elliott, of course, it could be on the front page of Clio or Vogue or any great international magazine. All the best. We want to hear from her again as she gets successful. Well, coming up next, I've got a whole stack of letters and reactions to various debates that we've had recently, plus the phenomenon of Star Wars. Does it get under your skin? Weekend events, a stack of mail, and of course we've got this book from Richard Prebble still to give away, but now it's time to turn our focus to Star Wars. Some people seem to be obsessed with it. I told Marcel Curran, look, go out and find that there are some sane Southlanders out there who don't go over the top with Star Wars.
Haven't seen film yet. Must not spoil story for myself. Do you know what this is?
It's a lifesaver.
A lifesaver?
No, a life saber.
A light
saber. Right.
You know what noise it makes?
No. Yeah, show me.
Okay, so that's what noise it makes. Are you going to go and see the new movie?
At some stage, yes.
At some stage. You haven't got your tickets yet?
No.
No, he's not a keen fan. Do you know what this is?
Right.
Wouldn't have a clue.
You wouldn't have a clue?
No.
You wouldn't have a clue what movie it's from?
Oh, but Star Wars.
Star Wars, that's the stuff. Have you got your tickets yet? Are you going to go and see the movie?
Oh, not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Might be a bit grown up for it.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
Definitely.
Have you got your Star Wars ticket?
Definitely.
Do you know what noise this makes?
Yep. That one.
No, I want to hear the noise.
No.
Yeah, that's the stuff. All right. Now, the Star Wars books,
Yep.
all right, they've all got different covers,
Yep.
but they're the same book.
Exactly the same book, different covers. You can just choose what character you want to get.
So why would you buy all 6 books?
Probably not. But if you're definitely a Star Wars fan, why not?
You are holding the super double-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah.
Do you know who uses it in the movie?
No, I don't.
That's a bit nasty.
Don't ask me that.
Be wary. I sense a disturbance in the force.
Well, someone over here knows what it is.
Star Wars?
Star Wars. Have you got your movie tickets yet? Are you going to go and see the movie? Is Mum going to let you go and see the movie?
Yes.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
So you're going to go and see the new Star Wars movie?
All depends.
All depends on what?
If I take the kids through it or not.
Are you too shy to take yourself just on your own?
No, it's just that I just don't enjoy. I don't see the fascination in Star Wars myself.
So you're not a fan?
Yeah, I grew out of it.
You grew out of it? He grew out of it. Do you know what this is?
No.
You don't know what it is? You've no idea what this is? I'm thrown. He doesn't know what it is.
You don't know. It's a sword or a laser sword or
A
something.
laser sword. It's not a lightsaber by any chance, is it?
Well, it could be.
Do you know what movie it's off?
Star Wars.
Got it! Do you know what this is?
Yep, it's a light laser.
Light laser or a light saber?
Whatever.
Okay, who uses it?
Darth Vader?
Darth Vader? Luke Skywalker? Yeah. Are you going to go and see the new movie?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
I'm getting a bit depressed here. There's not many Star Wars fans.
If the trace was correct, I will find them quickly, Master. I have a bad feeling about this.
At last, I shall have my revenge. Come and get some, Obi-Wan. No, take that, Darth Maul. And that, and that.
Oh, I sent him out to find out that people out there are still sane, and of course Marcel Curran is the most obsessed Star Wars fan that you could imagine. Doing a great job there out at the warehouse, seeing how hooked we are on the movie, which of course is showing at the moment. OK, some reaction, some public reaction first of all on should the council tender out. Well, we've already seen an example of this. We hear from one writer, council tendering city valuations to an Auckland company. The result, 2 families left Invercargill. There are plenty of other examples. This is what's contributing to the decline of Invercargill. Then about Ron Mark from New Zealand First, about their credibility. And they write to me, people like yourself have short memories. New Zealand First came through on most of what they promised against unbelievable odds. And a letter about the marijuana, should we legalise it? Is it worse than alcohol? Dear Jerry, we use drugs so we don't get headaches and hangovers from drinking, and because the buzz is good, but we know it's bad if you got into it from peer pressure at first. But did you ever do it? Alcohol has worse effects than Mary Jane, bro, so chill out. So there seems to be a little bit of a personal element coming through from some of that mail, as if I have an opinion. I don't. I only ask the questions, all right? I only ask the questions, so I don't involve myself as whether I'm in it or not. Do you think that's the fair way to go? Was it too hard on Richard Prebble? Was it too hard on Ron Mark? Like to hear from you. Also like to hear from you if you would like to win this book from Richard Prebble. I've been writing, and you can write to us at 21 The Crescent. You can also fax me on 218 6899, and I'm at jerry@mtv.co.nz on whether you think the DPB, there should be changes made to the DPB, the main source of our argument. Weekend events, before I forget them. Let's see what's on this weekend, starting with the New Zealand Home and Farm Host Conference. That goes all weekend. Delegates are welcome. Then we've got Raybon Khan, Ewan Gilmore and Kevin Lynch are going to be at the Workingmen's Club. They're living dangerously. And don't forget, the booking office is open tomorrow on Saturday for Deirdre Irons and the Ascot Brass. They're in concert on Sunday. Booking office is open tomorrow, so get along in there. And also, just flicking over the page, Wednesday. Now we're looking towards next week. The YR Town and Country Club have a Rev Up Day, and there's a number where you can get in contact if you would like some more information. 226-226-399. We also have Southern Storytellers are getting together to tell their yarns. Tickets available from the museum. And comedian Kevin Lynch is going to be doing a fundraiser in Invercargill Plunket. Make sure you get hold of your tickets. There's where you can get in contact with them. And of course we've got tickets for the Midwinter Christmas dinner going to be held next week. Proceeds go to renovating the Waikiwi Hall. Okay, there's our weekend events. We'll be out and about on the weekend, probably catch up with the Ascot Park Brass because they've just come back from the New Zealand Championships where they did very well. Whatever you do, have a great weekend. We'll catch you again on Monday.